Yes, he does. He's got it. 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 He's got it.
Another Tuesday afternoon right here on Radio Point 3 with me, Owen. It is hashtag Tech Tuesday. We are so glad to be with you right here at Radio Point 3. There is so much going on today, and we are so glad to be with you. You've just heard that was Tamara or Michaela Naidu on air with us from 2 to 4 on a Tuesday and a Wednesday. Catch her tomorrow. Why don't you? For another exciting show. Time now is just gone 2 minutes past 4 o'clock. And welcome to everybody out there. We are streaming live right now on our YouTube channel. So you can head on over to YouTube and catch us. That is Radio Point 3. And you can catch us there. I will be posting the posting the YouTube link up on our Facebook page. So if you want, you can follow us on our Facebook page. That is Radio Point 3. Look out for the big orange 3, and you will find us there. Those of you listening in and want to be in touch with us today, you can send us WhatsApps, voice notes, or text messages to 074 432 5251 right here in studio. And we've got some very exciting music for you today. I pray that you would be blessed listening in to it. We've got a very exciting show for you, and it is Tech Tuesday, so that means we're talking tech stuff. So if you have a pastor or worship leader, this show is for them today. So why don't you get them to come on over and listen in to what we have in store for them today, and we will definitely be giving out some handy tips on worship leading and building your team, but just to give you some insight or a glimpse of what we're talking about equipping your worship team and how to do that. So yeah, get on over onto Facebook Live. You can catch me there, catch me on the app. You can download the app from the Apple iStore or from the Google Play Store. Yeah, so we're gonna listen into some sounds of Danny Goki, and this is New Day.
Wake up and breathe in deeper than yesterday. Take on the your soul's been remade. Roll down the windows, let your cares fly away. Good things are yours to claim, you don't have to wait. All across the sky, new mercies rise, and the future's bright. This is a new day. Everything bursting with hope, coming alive. This moment, you gotta freedom. No looking back anymore. Open your eyes, it's coming. This is a new day. The old has gone away, This is a new day. Don't let it slip away, Go on and reignite impossible dreams. Become the one you never thought you could be. All across the sky, new mercies rise, and the future's bright. This is a new day. Everything bursting with hope, coming alive. This moment, you gotta freedom. No looking back anymore. is making the old things new today and every single day. Love hasn't given up on you. Love hasn't given up on you. Love, yeah. 1, 2, 3. New day, new day. This is a new day. Everything bursting with hope, coming alive. This moment, moment, moment. You got freedom. No looking back and looking back in your eyes. It's coming, coming. This is a new day. The old is gone away. The old is gone away. This is a new day. Don't let it slip away. Don't let it slip away. This is a new day. The old is gone away. The old is gone away. This is a new day. New day. New day. Don't let it slip away. This is a new day.
As if you should do things my way. You alone are God, and I surrender to your ways. Jesus, lover of my soul, all-consuming fire is in your gaze. Jesus, I want you to know I will follow you all my days. For no one else in history is like you, and history itself belongs to you. Alpha and Omega, you have loved me, and I will share eternity with you. It's all about you, Jesus, and all this is for you, for your glory and your fame. It's not about me, as if you should do things my way. You alone are God, and I surrender to your ways. It's all about you, Jesus, and all this is for you, for your glory and your fame. It's not about me, as if you should do things my way. You alone are God, and I surrender. It's all about you, Jesus.
From ancient praise to the unforgettable praise to memorable worship to the hits of today. We've got it all right here on Radio Point 3.
Yes, you are on Radio Point 3 with me, Owen, this afternoon on another Tech Tuesday. And we are so glad that you are here joining us. And I pray that you would be blessed today with me. We're talking about equipping your worship teams today. And so I'm just going to get straight into it and get you to understand where I'm coming from. And hopefully we can get going with something special just for you. So how do you equip your worship team? And when diving into the worship team training process, a great starting point is to examine the current goals of your church or your worship group or worship team. Determine whether there's a clear and strategic plan for the future of your worship team or your worship ministry that does exist. The goal of having a plan is to understand exactly how to keep or how to equip your worship team with all of the training equipment, facilities, and personal support they need to practice, play, and sing. And the primary goal with equipping your worship team should be for church leaders to be ready and available to hear the needs of each worship team member and take action on any urgent needs. Open up an avenue to discuss between your church leaders and your worship leaders to ensure everyone is on the same page. And in the loop, on the same, that everybody is in the same page, on the same page, in the loop, and well equipped to be the best they can be in praise and worship. And some of the things that we need to do is just set some guidelines and expectations for your teams, whether you're a worship leader starting up at a new church or simply just reorganizing your existing team. Have those guidelines and expectations for your team. And when we come back after the traffic and a song, I will give you some questions that you can write down and you can answer with your team, just to have some expectations and guidelines. So if you are traveling this afternoon, just be wary of there's a lot of storm and rain across the country in southern Africa, and so also there is a stationary vehicle on the N2 southbound after the ramp from Edwin Swales. Left shoulder is closed, and also on the N3 westbound after the EB Kluter interchange, right lane is blocked. Please approach with caution. And so that is about all of the traffic for right now. And also don't forget about the rainy weather. And Nottingham Road, there are lots of misty conditions along Fun Rhiannon's passes. Drive with your headlights on and watch for the poor visibility.
Traffic.
It's the Tech Guy.
From ancient praise to the unforgettable praise to memorable worship to the hits of today. We've got it all right here on Radio Point 3.
24/7, non-stop, around the world. This is Radio Point 3.
'cause I have seen your faithfulness, my fortress, over and over.
I have a hope found in your name. I have a strength found in your grace, your faithfulness, my fortress, over and over.
Make way through the waters, walk me through the fire, do what you are famous for. Shut the mouths of lions, bring dry bones to life there. Do what you are famous for, what you are famous for.
I believe in you.
God, I believe in you. Release your love inside of me. Unleash your power for all to see. Spirit, come and fall on us, over and over. Oh, make way through the waters, walk me through the fire. Do what you are famous for, what you are famous for. Shut the mouths of lions, bring dry bones to life there. Do what you are famous for, what you are famous for. God of exceedingly, God of abundantly, more than we ask or think. Lord, you will never fail. Your name is powerful, your word's unstoppable. All things are possible in you. God of exceedingly, God of abundantly, more than we ask or think. Lord, you will never fail. Your name is powerful, your word's unstoppable. All things are possible in you. Make way through the water, walk me through the fire. Do what you are famous for, what you are famous for. Shut the mouths of lions, bring dry bones to life there. Do what you are famous for, what you are famous for. I believe in you. Now I believe in you. There is no fear, 'cause I believe. There is no doubt, 'cause I have seen your
Faithfulness, my fortress, over and over.
It's Tech Tuesday with Owen.
Yes, it is Tech Tuesday with me, Owen, and I'm so grateful to be with you right here on Radio Point 3 this afternoon. If you are joining us in, welcome, 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 and I pray you would have a blessed day with me this afternoon. And it is just gone 20 minutes past 4 o'clock this afternoon, and yeah, we're talking about equipping your teams, your worship teams, and some of the questions that I said I'm going to put out to you when I come back after that. So just so for those of you who want to know, that was Torrin Wells, and the name of the song is Famous For. And yeah, so we're going to get back into today's topic, equipping your worship team. So some of the questions that you can ask, this can be done sitting down as a group, or think about questions to set guidelines and expectations for your members. So what is everyone's defined role? Worship leader, vocalist, backup vocalist, musician. What is everyone's what are everyone's responsibilities in their roles? For example, setting up their own guitar or piano for each practice and training session. staging, and maybe taking down mics and mic stands for vocalists, whatever it may be. So, just some of the things are in terms of responsibility. How many days a week will be set aside for practice? What is our regular scheduled practice time? These can be at any times that are more convenient, since you all have to be there prior to or after a service, the specific time provided. For bigger churches with multiple services, you might want to have to put a schedule out there with the different members and who's on for that weekend or for the service. So basically, for bigger churches with multiple services, question will be who will be playing with service, and is anyone rotating between the multiple services? When is our time to pray and encourage each other as a worship team? How do we grow together spiritually? And your worship team should be a tight-knit group, pursuing the same goal, leading others in worship and praise unto our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. Keeping everyone on the same page by setting guidelines and expectations will promote discipline, not just amongst the members, but also keep everyone organized. I spoke a lot about this last week, choosing the right set for your Sunday worship song list or song set for your Sunday worship service. So when it comes to developing your song list, create a core song list. In the starting stages of your worship team, it's important that you only choose a few songs that are core to your team. That songs that you'll practice and play regularly. This is the best way to create a foundation set for your team of songs that everyone on the team knows like the back of their hand. So basically, everybody should know the songs and get very familiar with it. Sit down with your worship team and let everyone give their thoughts on their favorite worship songs and what songs the Lord has placed on their hearts at specific times in their lives, so that you get an understanding, and you can even play these songs as you're discussing them, letting everyone else hear them. Maybe hand out lyrics for everyone to read them and understand. Get some background on those songs that you're putting out to your team, so that everybody understands who the author is or the songwriter, and understand where and what point in their life they actually wrote that song. And then moving along, and then you can decide on the top Christian songs you like to place in your course set list with your team, and be prepared to practice them regularly from at the very beginning, and repeatedly. Once everybody can play and sing your core song list without a second thought, you can begin to expand into new worship songs. Yep. So that is some of the things that you can do to build your team, and especially when it comes to your worship team, it's always good to have their input on it. And yeah, songs have very different meanings to different people, and a lot of people have different different emotional connections to songs. So when it comes to choosing the right song for the right at the right time, always hear and listen to the rest of your team, and they will gladly help you to have some good choice of songs as well. We're gonna get into some Jordan Phyllis, and this is Glorified.
You gave a heavenly breath, and now it's air in our chest. That's why we're singing it back to you. For every battle you won, for everything that you've done, and everything that you're gonna do. Sing till it covers the earth. Don't wanna wait for the rocks to shout. We got a reason to praise. This is the song of the sage. No, we ain't gonna turn it down. Every day we got a reason. This church ain't only on the weekend. Yeah, when I get the kind of feeling, all I wanna do, all we wanna do is that's why we came, that's why we came to lift your name. Come on and sing. That's why we came. Yeah, we were made to lift your name. All the church sing. Every day we're gonna glorify, glorify. Every day we're gonna glorify, glorify. Every day we got a reason. The church ain't only on the weekend. Yeah, when I get the kind of feeling, ooh, I gotta sing. That's why we came. That's why we came to lift your name. Come on and sing. Come on and sing. Glorify your name. That's why we came. Yeah, we were made to lift your name. All the church sing. Every day we're gonna glorify, glorify. Every day we're gonna glorify, glorify. Glorify your name.
If it's trending, making headlines, we've got it covered. This is Radio Point 3 News.
Naidu and you're on News at the Hour. A taxi driver firm trying to run over a Durban Metro cop, issuing him a fine charged with attempted murder. The driver, who cannot be named yet, is charged with attempted murder, reckless and negligent driving, threatening a member of the Durban Metro Police, assault, disregarding lawful instruction and defeating the ends of justice. Durban Metro Police spokesperson Geraldine Stevens said the case was open at Hillcrest SAPS. Stevens said the officer in the video was a traffic warden and not a police officer. She said the officer would undergo police training soon. In other news, the Department of Mineral Resources and Energy has announced the official fuel price adjustments that came into effect on Wednesday, 5th of October, and as expected, petrol is coming down while diesel sees a small increase. According to the department, the price of 95 unleaded petrol will increase by 102 cents per liter this month, while 93 unleaded is coming down by 89 cents. The price of 500 ppm diesel, on the other hand, is set to go up by 10 cents per liter, while lower sulfur 50 ppm will see a 15-cent hike.
If it's trending, making headlines, we've got it covered. This is Radio Point 3 News.
Illuminating paraffin is set to decrease by 61 cents. In other news, former Finance Minister boss Tito Mboweni has money stolen from his bank account. This is according to a report by Sowetan Live, which alleged that a sum of about 19,000 rand was stolen from his bank account. Somebody hacked into my check account and started taking money out. I noticed this around 7 p.m. My banking app informs me when there are transactions in my account, so there were transactions that had nothing to do with me, Mboweni quoted, as stated. The country's former finance boss went on to say that the bank was investigating the incident and he did not see the need to open a case with the police. Ongoing for your sports news, Cricket South Africa Director of Cricket Enoch Nkwe has confirmed that they're looking to split the head coach role into two after Mark Butcher's tenure ends at this month's T20 World Cup in Australia. Boucher said will step away from his post after nearly 3 years to take charge of Indian Premier League giants Mumbai Indians at the close of the T20 World Cup, which ends on 13th November. Under the former Proteas wicket-keeper's guidance, since his appointment in 2019, South Africa have won 11 in 20 tests, 12 out of 25 ODIs, and 23 out of 44 T20s. Inkiwe says it was difficult to accept Boucher's resignation, but he understands the IPL opportunity. He then pointed to the possibility of 2 head coach positions, one for the Test side and the other for the white ball cricket. This isn't a foreign concept, as it's a decision that has seen World Cup champions England become a force over the last few years, with a split coaching role which sees Brendan Clume coaching the Test side and Matthew Mott as white ball coach. We move forward and we have the idea of splitting the roles to have a bit more focus on red ball and white ball cricket. Nkwe told News 24 Sport on Monday at the T20 Women's World Cup launch at Newlands. And as for the Water News family, Reservoir 2 is still under investigation as it's struggling to build capacity to service the affected areas. Please store water in the interim as the water supply may cut off without warning, as quoted by Watt 49 Tino Pillay. For your weather this morning, looks like we will be undergoing cloudy conditions throughout the day with gust winds at 49 kilometers per hour. Stay safe and dress warm. This is Radio Point 3, Michaela Naidu, bringing you the news. This is Radio Point.
Yeah, so giving you some traffic updates. There has been no changes to what's going on. Those of you who are traveling on the N3 eastbound after the off-ramp from Sanctuary Road, it is now clear. Into southbound after the ramp from Edwin Swales is now clear. And into northbound after a ramp from Komashu, the left shoulder lane is closed, and that is due to a stationary vehicle. And also don't forget about the storm warning across the country for tonight and for the next couple of days. And if you are traveling along the N3 between Nottingham Road along Van Rienen's Pass, there is poor visibility. Keep a safe following distance and please take care and drive carefully. Always remember, keep your headlights on during this time.
24/7, non-stop, around the world. This is Radio Point 3.
So if you have just joined us, welcome to another Tuesday right here on Radio Point 3 with me, Owen, the tech guy. And it is another fabulous day right here in Durban, South Africa, where we are broadcasting from. And if you're joining us, why don't you hop on over to our YouTube channel. We are streaming live to you right now, right there. And if you're on Facebook, why don't you hop on over and follow us on our Facebook page, that is Radio Point 3. Not forgetting, if you want to interact with me this afternoon, why don't you send me a WhatsApp on 074-432-5251. You can send your voice notes or a text message. Tell me where you're listening in from. What are you doing for this Tuesday afternoon? What are your plans for this afternoon? I know some of you are probably going to a church service, maybe a prayer meeting or something of that sort, or a leadership meeting or something. Whatever your church may be having, why don't you tell us what you are up to? Maybe celebrating a birthday or an anniversary. Let us know. We want to celebrate with you right here on Radio Point 3. So getting back into today's topic of equipping your worship team, we spoke a bit about building your team together and developing a core song list. And so once you have that core song list, it's easy to go move ahead and move forward, especially with your rehearsals and your practice sessions. So that's what we're talking about now. Practice regularly and stay accountable. And everybody knows the saying, practice makes perfect. And that's exactly what it is. So if your worship team is going to lead others in praise and worship, don't you think you need to be able to play each song in every worship set in the moment without worrying about making mistakes and wondering what could actually go wrong? The only way to achieve, this level or such level of confidence is to practice, and I cannot say it any less. Practice some more. That's what you need to do. Remember, however, that the way you practice also has a direct effect on your playing ability. So if you practice intentionally and correct any mistakes immediately, you'll be far more confident and capable when playing and singing in front of others. If you practice the wrong note each time without correcting it, for example, it's going to take a lot of retraining, if I can say, to erase that mistake from memory and muscle memory. Musicians, you'll understand what I mean by muscle memory when I say that. So it's easy to just keep on going back to that wrong chord when you make that mistake without correcting it at the very onset of your practice times. Every worship team is required to practice, show up, and contribute to the rehearsal, and not just the rehearsal, but also to a Sunday morning or whatever service you may be playing at. Make personal accountability a core virtue for your team and discuss it regularly. And that is something that is very important. When it comes to especially the rehearsals, have a structured rehearsal. Send out the song list in advance so that the team can go through it, and they can always get onto what needs to be rehearsed for that Sunday. It is now 20 minutes to 5 o'clock. Sorry, 20 minutes to 5 o'clock. And it's time for our 20 minutes of some house non-stop party music just for you right here on Radio Point 3 with me, Owen, on the drive this afternoon.
I asked my brother, and I asked him where I got it from. Where did I get this vibe, this feeling from creating music? And he said my uncle told him that it came from my daddy. Some of it at least. But I believe I got some of it from my mama. She had something to do with it too. I believe that. 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 I believe that.
Give me taking this, man. I want to hear you preach, man. I'm just taking this.
Get
DJ's calling me. The DJ's calling me. The DJ's calling me. It's 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 calling me.
Radio Point 3, not your average.
It's just gone 1 minute after 5 o'clock on the Tuesday afternoon right here in Durban, South Africa. And you're listening into Radio Point 3, and this is a traffic update for you for this afternoon. So if you're traveling on the N3 eastbound after a ramp from Century Road, it is now clear. Drive carefully. N2 southbound after a ramp, Edwin Swales is now clear. N2 northbound after the Kwamashu off ramp, the left shoulder lane is closed, and that is due to a stationary vehicle. Please drive with care. Those of you who are traveling along the N3 between Durban and Johannesburg, please be wary of the misty and wet road conditions. There is poor visibility between Nottingham Road and Van Reenens Pass. Please drive with your headlights on and keep a safe traveling distance.
For no more shadows coming. You don't know the story. For if you get your wounds up, live up no pain. So just let me tell you, the faith you made as well break out and
day.
Yes, that's right. It's the fun fact of the day. And did you know that today is the 277th day of 2022, and there's only 88 days left to go until we reach the new year, 2023. So October 4th is in history was a day of disasters, inventions, and so much more. But here are some interesting facts about this day that made history. Did you know that on this day in 1957, Sputnik 1 became Earth's first artificial satellite to go into orbit? It orbited for 3 weeks before its batteries died and then crashed down 2 weeks later. So in 2017, UK Prime Minister Theresa May was pink-slipped during her speech at the Conservation National Conference. And in 2006, Julian Assange, however, I think that's how you pronounce his name, launched WikiLeaks.com. And did you know in 1918, the musical Sometime put on its first performance at the Sherbet Theatre in Broadway, New York City, the USA. And in 1883, the Orient Express started its first journey from Paris to Istanbul, and the original journey stopped in Germany, Austria, Romania, Serbia, and Bulgaria.
Fun fact of the day.
It's a hit after hit after hit after hit. Check this out. Only the best jams on Radio Point 3.
Yeah, so getting back into today's topic of the day, which is equipping your worship teams. We spoke a bit about everything else early on, and we're going to continue. One of the best ways is to foster spiritual growth amongst your team members. And before anything else, worship is about playing and singing to the Lord, to exalt and praise His name. And how we as worship team members growing spiritually, that was one of the questions that I put out to you, so to ask your team, is your worship team or your worship leader doing anything intentional to ensure that you have spiritual growth? Do experts seek coaching as do they as leaders seek that as appropriate as your leaders? Do they foster? Do they give you that spiritual growth? Here's a few ways you can bring in the spiritual growth amongst your team members. So first things first is praying together. Always pray together. Pray for each other. Start a team devotional. Hold Bible studies together. Attending services together. Spend your time, your rehearsal time, not just going through the song list, but actually spend it in worship. Do it in worship. Hold teaching sessions on the importance of praise and worship, and raise up new worship leaders. It takes both time and dedication to be in a position to lead worship. But as current worship leaders, we should always be on the lookout for team members who wish to grow in their leadership role. And that's what I'm going to just talk to you very quickly about now going forward is, getting your team into leadership. Assess their leadership skills, musical talents, and their heart of serving God. If they have a desire, start easing them into leading worship. Perhaps just a song or two just to start off with. A great way to gradually transition someone into a worship leader role is to give them the opportunity to lead during your rehearsal times or during your practice sessions. See how they do and where they can improve, and guide them along the way. Once you're comfortable during the rehearsal times with their performance and how they go about doing things, then you can then you can start introducing a song or welcoming. Then they can start introducing songs on a Sunday morning or at a service, or welcoming and praying with the congregation. In time, they'll begin to transition from co-lead into a primary lead. So give them a co-leader start, and then they can transition into a more leadership role. Raising up new worship leaders can be a long and daunting and a drawn-out task and process. So you need to be patient. The key is to get them to be comfortable with leading worship in front of the church, and gradually let them take on more and more responsibility. This is essentially a worship leader training path that you have set out and that you have created for them, and that'll take them from just being a regular team member, if you want to call it that, to a capable leader, allowing their worship leading skills to flourish. And make time to train your worship team members. And when we come back in about 3 minutes, I want to give you another traffic update, and we're going to continue with how we can train your team members. We're going to be playing out with some sounds of Capital Kings, and this one is called Don't Walk Away.
From ancient praise to the unforgettable praise to memorable worship to the hits of today. We've got it all right here on Radio Point 3.
Music.
Stuck in the dream, so I keep sleeping. So now I feel no pain at all. So let's just free fall off the deep end. One night, one chance, let's go. So can we take just a moment? Can we take just a moment with you right next to me? So can we take just a moment? Can we live in the moment right now? You're all that I need. I don't wanna wake up. Don't wanna wake up. Don't wanna wake up. I don't wanna wake up. Don't wanna wake up. I don't wanna wake up.
Your number one gospel station.
Yeah, so we are talking about making worship teams better and equipping them to excel in what they do. So yeah, so worship team training made easy is just what you need to do. One of the easiest ways is there are some practical few particular skills you can focus on when training your vocalists and musicians to ensure everyone is on the same page, especially when you're rotating between musicians and worship team members. We have several part-time members that come in and out the whole time. So worship team vocalists, training your vocalists properly will give them the confidence they need to sing from their hearts and lead each person in worship, in the congregation in worship. You can begin training your vocalists by equipping your vocalists with warm-ups that they can practice during rehearsals and take home to practice as well. If you have multiple vocalists singing the same part, make sure they breathe in sync with each other and on the same beats. If you practicing singing the melody and harmonizing with harmonies, especially, it may take some practice. A cappellas with no music, just to get that part solid and ironed out the way it should be, and make it sound good. Encourage your vocalists, each vocalist, to memorize lyrics and pronounce each lyric distinctly. That's one of the things that I've seen. I've seen and heard where vocalists do not pronounce the words correctly. So that is one of the things that actually makes you sound bad when you sing. Is the enunciation and the pronunciation of the words. That is one of the things that you need to do as a vocalist, you need to learn to pronounce the words and announce the words the way it should be when singing. Practicing I'm getting tongue-tied here. Practicing singing etiquette. That's the word I'm looking for. Etiquette. Such as body language, smiling, and holding the microphone properly on stage. Gives you confidence as well. Worship team musician training, such as your guitarist, maybe it be acoustic or electric guitar, bass guitar, your pianist, keyboardist, and drummer. Those are the basic instruments you have in the church, so that's why I chose those ones. Music is the heart of worship, and training your music team to be in sync, on rhythm, and in tune with each other during the worship service can be a challenge. But to begin training your musicians, you can encourage each member to learn the song and practice each chord as per the chart or the piece of sheet music before before they even get to the rehearsal. They shouldn't be seeing it for the first time at a rehearsal. Being prepared is key. Even if you're learning some worship music for the first time, always be prepared. Listen to the songs. Go over it over and over and over. Listen to the song at least 10 times before you even pick up your instrument to try play it. So that the song, the melody, how the song is meant to be played, or what your parts are, things like that there. Decide on the role each musician and assign them a part to play. Chord charts and tabs made for a worship team will typically have each part separated. So worship leaders, you need to spend time, just sitting back and getting those scores and music together. Ensure everyone is listening to each other while playing. It is important to say in rhythm, on key, and in sync. Yep. Use a metronome if you need to, or a click, as it is commonly known as a click track. Use that to develop your team's sense of rhythm. Newer musicians may find it a struggle when it comes to rhythm the most, and a metronome or a click can help them to overcome that. And when you hear that beat, it's easier to follow it along consciously. So yeah, that's some of the things you can do when it comes to worship team training.
Radio Point 3, taking you into spring. Radio Point 3, taking you into spring.
I've seen it before, afraid of what's in store, but this time I'm ready to go. Break through the laws of man into a foreign land. It's the only way to show everything we are and what we came to do. I'm feeling ready, I know I'm ready. Everything we are and what we're meant to show. With the lights down low, it's time to let them know. I know, we're gonna take it all the way. I know, it doesn't matter what they say. 'Cause when the sun shines down and wipes away the gray, I know, we're gonna take it all the way. I know, we're gonna take it all the way. I know, it doesn't matter what they say. 'Cause when the sun shines down and wipes away the gray, I know, we're gonna take it all the way. The clock's ticking down, the eyes are looking now. I think they're ready to know. There's something more to this, something that can't be missed. No matter which way you go, everything that lies behind, just let it go. I'm feeling ready, I know we're ready. Everything that lies ahead, come take control. With the lights down low, it's time to let them know. I know, we're gonna take it all the way. I know, it doesn't matter what they say. 'Cause when the sun shines down and wipes away the gray, I know, we're gonna take it all the way. I know, we're gonna take it all the way. I know, it doesn't matter what they say. 'Cause when the sun shines down and wipes away the gray, I know, we're gonna take it all the way.
It's like where do I begin? The clock is ticking down, my friend. But no worries, like RG3, we taking it. Yeah, let this be the sign for you to open up your mind. Cause when he comes back next time, he's taking it. Taking it. Taking it.
Can I hear? Drop it. Amen.
Nothing standing in my way. I will never go astray. The future is a beautiful sight when you can turn the darkness into light. There's no more living in black and white. When you see what I see, we belong as one. We belong as one. When all is said and all is done, we belong as one. We belong as one. We belong as one. We belong as one. When all is said and
24/7, non-stop, around the world. This is Radio Point 3.
And it's just gone 27 minutes past 5 o'clock on a Tuesday afternoon, the 4th of October. And I'm giving you some traffic update for you. On the N2 southbound, just before the Gateway off-ramp, there is a heavy motor vehicle that is broken down in the left lane. And coupled with the roadworks ahead, there are a huge backlog from Sabaya. And there's traffic backed up on Commercial Road in Pietermaritzburg. Please be patient with that. And for those of you who are listening in and want to know what's going on in the weather, I'll give that to you in a moment.
Sometimes we're not ourselves. There's no one I can turn to. And I know all the feelings that we shared are in the past. And I know
It's a hit after hit after hit after hit. Check this out. Only the best jams on Radio Point 3.
So as promised, here's your weather update for today, or rather for tomorrow. If you are in KZN, it is going to be a pretty hot day out there. We've got sunrise in Durban at 5:31 tomorrow morning and sunset at 18:01, which is 1 minute past 6, with a high temperature of 25 degrees and a low of 17, and you can expect a 15% chance of rain. While Ladysmith, Newcastle, you got a scorcher of a day, 37 degrees high tomorrow. Richards Bay 35, Scottsboro 25, Underberg 32, Escort 34. And those of you who are that is in the area, please be aware that there is a high UV risk index out there. So please wear sunscreen if you're out there. If you're in Durban, looks like it's going to be a pretty decent day to be spending at the beach. And Newcastle, just so you are aware, you can expect some heavy gusts of wind of up to 44 kilometers an hour, and so in Richards Bay of about 38 kilometers per hour. So to wrap up for today's show on equipping your worship teams, we spoke quite a bit about that. So some of the things that you need to do is just set out guidelines and expectations for your team. There's a couple of questions that I posted out there, which I will post again for you. If you're on our Facebook page, you can follow us there and you can get those questions off there. Practice, regular practice, and staying accountable. Practice makes perfect. And then developing a core song list would help you as well. And not forgetting, foster a spiritual growth amongst the worship team. And last but not least, but making time available for worship team training, vocalists and musicians. Yeah, so it is a Tuesday with me, Owen, right here on Radio Point 3. It's been an honor and a privilege to have spent this time with you, and I pray that you have been blessed. I'm out of here in a few minutes, but before we leave, I'm going to play out a track for you, and that is by Toby Mac, and it is called "Love Feels Like."
24/7, non-stop, around the world. This is Radio Point 3.
This is harder than I thought it'd be, harder than I thought, taking every part of me, harder than I thought, so much harder than I thought it'd be, but empty never felt so full. This is what love, this is what love, this is what love feels like, this is what love, this is what love, this is what love feels like. Poured out, used up, still giving, stretching me out to the end of my living. This is what love, this is what love, this is what real love feels like. This is what love feels like. Poured out, used up, still willing to fight for it. This is what love feels like. Yeah, this is what it feels like. Like floating confetti, the beautiful gets messy when the fallout finds the floor. But in the depths of the trenches is the richest of riches. Love is calling us to more. This is harder than I thought. It's harder than I thought it'd be. Harder than I thought. It's taking every part of me. Harder than I thought. So much harder than I thought it'd be. Empties never felt so full. This is what love. This is what love. This is what love feels like. This is what love. This is what love. This is what love feels like. Poured out, used up, still giving, stretching me out to the end of my living. This is what love. This is what love. This is what real love feels like. This is what love feels like. Poured out, used up, still willing to fight for it. This is what love feels like. Yeah, this is what it feels like. And now these three remain: faith, hope, and love. But the greatest of these is love. It's worth everything you put in. Everything you put in. It's worth everything you put in. Everything you put in.
The station with the most gospel. It's a hit after hit after hit after hit. Check this out. Only the best jams on Radio Point 3.
Hey Durban, how you doing? It's Pastor Shane P and the Ministry Project. We're excited to bring you Weapons of Mass Destruction Youth Conference, 8th October 2022 at the Westridge Tennis Stadium in Durban. Well, if you're part of a church, you're part of a school, young adult, parents and youth, Well, you got to join us. We've got dance, rap, praise and worship, baptism, the Word of God, prayer for the youth and our city, and of course our country. We're looking ahead to having you with us as we have an awesome time at Weapons of Mass Destruction Youth Conference 2022. We kick off at 2:30 p.m. and go right through to the afternoon, and we're gonna have an awesome time. Well, for more information, won't you contact Pastor Duchesne 076 248 5085 or Mandy on 082 319 4910. We're looking ahead for an awesome time at Weapons of Mass Destruction Youth Conference. Thankful, grateful, blessed.
From ancient praise to the unforgettable praise to memorable worship to the hits of today. We've got it all right here on Radio Point 3.
So just to keep you informed about what's going on in the local community here in Durban, Weapons of Mass Destruction with Pastor Shane P. And Pastor Deshan Maharaj. That is on Saturday at Westwood Stadium from 2:30 until the evening. And then on the Friday at 7:45 at Brookdale Secondary Church Hall. So that's a school church hall, I'm assuming. No, that is Brookdale Secondary Church Hall on Wattlebrook Drive in Brookdale, Phoenix. By the Spirit Supernatural Encounter, you are welcomed to join Bishop Neil Francis, who is a jock right here on Radio Point 3, together with Apostle Norman and Pastor Jenny Chetty. That is on Friday the 7th of October at 6:45. And then on there is a 32nd anniversary of Promised Life Ministries invites you to celebrate in their 32nd anniversary on This Is My Season, together with Apostle Shemaine Francis and Pastor Siva Govender on Friday the 21st of October at 7 p.m, Saturday 22nd of October at 6 p.m, and Sunday the 23rd of October at 8:30 a.m. And this will be taking place at Riverview Primary School, Swift Palm. For any inquiries, contact Pastor Shane on 074 427 6873. And then on Friday, or this coming weekend, Prophet Paul Mendes from Johannesburg will be having a healing and deliverance crusade in Sydenham. Friday, 7th of October at 7 o'clock. Saturday and Sunday, the 8th and 9th of October at 6 p.m. And this is going to be at the St. John's Anglican Church, 76 Ripon Road, Sparks, Sydenham. And then on Sunday morning, a very special service at 9:30 at Cyrene Full Gospel Church, 1 Sam Sunder Road in Isipingo Rail. And if you need any information about this crusade, you can contact Pastor Ricardo on 071 856 3339.
It's a hit after hit after hit after hit.
Check this out.
Only the best jams on Radio Point 3.
Driving home has never been this fun. It's the drive with Owen
Yes, as promised, we are going to celebrate your birthdays with you today. And those of you who are celebrating your birthday, a happy, happy, happy birthday from us all here at Radio Point 3. I pray that you have a blessed day and may God flood you and fill you with His presence, and may He grant you many, many, many more years to come. And if you're celebrating an anniversary, a happy anniversary to you as well. For those of you who are celebrating your birthday, some interesting things. Actress Melissa Benoist turns 33 today, and Dakota Johnson turns 32, and not forgetting voice actor. So many of you probably heard the guy's voice many times in doing voiceovers in movies. Ned Luke, he turned 63 today. And for all of you social media addicts, Shanti Gregg, Instagram celebrity, Isaiah Stolp, 22 years old today, and not forgetting Archie Lyndhurst. Sadly, he is a TV actor who sadly passed away at the tender age of 20 years old. And then also somebody else who is pretty famous, Rutherford B. Hayes, born on this day in 1982, and he passed away in 1983. For those of you who don't know, he was a president of the USA. Yeah, so a happy birthday to all of you, and I pray that you would have a blessed day today, and yeah, enjoy it. Hope you get spoiled. For those of you heading home today, right here in Durban, just to be wary of the traffic that is going on around your area. There are a lot of new happenings along the way. For those of you who are traveling along the N3 and N2 and Chief Albert Ntuli streets in Pietermaritzburg, please be aware of delays along the route. There's an accident on the N3 westbound before Otman Road off-ramp. Services are mobile, and please exercise caution in that area. There's an obstruction on the N2 southbound near the old airport, and there's a load obstructing the right lane. There's an accident on the corner of Sagewood, opposite the Sagewood entrance. The lane going into town are congested. And not forgetting about the heavy traffic on the R34 and R32 between Vryheid and the Blood River. Misty in some parts and light rain. Please exercise caution. And if you're traveling between Johannesburg and Durban, please take care along the Van Riemen's Pass area, as there is slight rain, misty conditions, and drive with caution. Keep to reduce your speed and drive with the headlights on. And those of you in Durban who are leaving the Umhlanga area, please be aware of the stationary vehicle just before the Gateway interchange on the N2 southbound, and that is causing a lot of backlog of traffic, and there's also roadworks which is adding to that pressure of traffic. Please be wary, do not drive in the yellow lanes, and make way for emergency vehicles. Yep, it is Tuesday. I'm out of here. Enjoy your evening, and I pray that you would have a blessed day ahead.